Good morning and welcome to Cincy Lifestyle on this Tuesday beautiful morning. Hey, Clyde, guess what?
What?
It is today National Call Your Doctor Day. And you know what? I'm going to do a step further. I actually have an in-person doctor's appointment today, so I'm going to go and check out my doctor in person.
Yeah, I remember a certain conversation about that before the show started.
I'm telling you, we tell people all the time, the real show is right before the show starts.
Let me tell you, it absolutely is. So what time's your appointment, 6:30?
No, no, it is not.
Okay.
It is at 1 p.m. today.
Oh,
and
good.
I'm going to give, I love going to him. Do you enjoy going to your doctor?
Oh, sure. We just find out such interesting things about me when I go to the doctor. And we look in strange places, too. But anyway.
Well, you know what? My doctor is actually kind of a friend, too. He and I actually go to church together.
Okay.
So it is kind of fun to see him. He's a great guy, and I look forward to seeing him. I haven't seen him in a while. So I look forward to seeing him today.
I like my doctor a lot, but I'm not quite as eager as you are, Mona, but I understand. I like him. He's a good guy. He really is.
These days, you're just eager to see anybody, okay, in person. So I'm excited to get out of the house.
You make a point. All right, well, let's take a moment here and talk a little bit about health, because if you enjoy cooking with fresh produce, it's important to know where it's coming from. And there's a local company that believes in the importance of providing top quality food for all households. That is the healthy way they want us to encourage us to eat. Right now, I want to welcome Elise Chalmers, the founder of Local Food Connection. Elise, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here.
So when you established Local Food Connection 5 years ago, why did you think it was necessary to do so?
Well, I've been working with farmers for about 5 years before that and realizing it is tough to be a farmer. You've got to go out there day and night, plant, harvest, pack, deliver, collect from your deliveries, go back, do customer service. If we could help them with the off-farm stuff and then help the buyer that has to go to one farmer for the pork, another farmer for the beet, and make it really easy with a one-stop shop for the supplier to tell them everyone what they have, and for the buyer to see what is available locally, we can really add value to them and save them time and have everyone have way more impact on the local economy.
And so how has that mission turned out, first of all? And secondly, how have you evolved since you started in that way in 2015?
And you know, when you start anything, you don't know where it's going. The first step was starting with 14 restaurants. Kudos to the chefs that were willing to have faith in us and work with 14 farmers in the area. And they loved being able in 10 minutes to order 100 products from all these different farms and food artisans that manufacture locally, like cheese, the picture you have up right now. And then the farmers were happy because they could do one drop to us and we would get all their orders prepared for all these different restaurants and households. So we started with restaurants in 2015 and 16 and started adding households, and we worked with different pickup spots around the city. The Gruff in northern Kentucky for people in that area. In Milford, we had Harvest Market. In Lebanon, we had Lamppost Cheese. So, you know, it was a win-win. People would go into the store, buy their Lamppost cheese, but also get their local bag of produce. Then with COVID, we realized people really don't want to leave their homes, and the shelter at home was a big issue. So this year we started home deliveries. In the meantime, we've also sold to schools. Cincinnati Public Schools now gets over 250,000 of local produce from our farmers.
Oh my.
And getting local food into places where people may not have that access on a daily basis.
So we've got just a little bit of time left, and I want to make sure people know how to connect with you and how they can check you out. So what would you recommend people do to find you, Elise?
Pretty easy, localfoodconnection.net. Just remember net and not com. And on that, you have a registration page. So once a week, you go in, and from Friday to Sunday, you kind of browse what people have. We have about 50 farms that are listing their products. And by Sunday night, get your order in, and you'll get it either on Tuesday or on a Wednesday delivered to your home. Farmers are there. It's harvested to your order. John Smith puts an order in. The farmer knows it's for John Smith, and he'll get that bag ready for you.
Okay, at least that sounds phenomenal. Well, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed.
Take care.
You
Eat
too.
healthy.
Mona?
Well, if you've experienced the process of adopting a dog, kitten, or any animal, you know there are a lot of photos and profiles to look through. However, there are always some that stand out. And Allie went behind the scenes of a Louie's Legacy photo shoot to learn how and why capturing high-quality photos of adoptable pets is so important for the shelter. Allie.
Puppies, kittens. Us humans love looking at photos and videos of animals for their pure cuteness. And animal shelters make it a priority to capture those epic head tilts with the hopes of melting the hearts of future animal owners. Studies have shown that high-quality photos of animals that are in focus, clear, and with little to no background distraction significantly improves an animal's chances of getting adopted. And Louie's Legacy is a shelter that works with professionals like Carol to capture a wide range of animals.
We mostly do kittens and puppies. In the past, I have done bunnies. We do rescue bunnies. I've done 2 pot-bellied pigs up in my studio, and hearing a pig carried up the stairs to my studio was very interesting. And then we also did a pony.
Every animal is different with their own unique personality. And it's Carol's job to capture that while using a collection of tricks and treats.
But they're just various bird calls. And some are soft and some are really obnoxious.
I make a lot of weird noises to get dogs' attention. Cats and kittens, not so much. You just play with them. Puppies can sometimes get a little overwhelmed by loud noises. They get a little scared. So I take it a little bit more quiet approach with them. Get toys out, trying to make them comfortable. As far as animal behavior, they may think it's a giant eye looking at them, and so they feel a little bit threatened or anxious by it. So sometimes I'll put the camera down next to them, put treats on the camera, and click when they're touching the camera so they know it's not a giant monster coming to steal their soul.
Having an understanding of animal behavior is key to successful photos. And once that's mastered, the photo shoots are enhanced with themes to make each litter playfully stand out.
And sometimes the themes are kind of wacky. We did a wine theme puppy litter one time, and the foster had access to this giant wine glass. So we put padding in there, and we would put the puppies in the wine glass. And we were very careful making sure it wasn't going to tip over, because like I said, the safety and health of our pets are foremost in our mind.
Also add some puppy and kitten cuddles to the mix, and you end up with a pretty fun and satisfying photo shoot.
That's the great part, is you get to meet all these awesome animals. You get to see their personalities, and a lot of people think that a dog or a cat that goes into rescue are damaged goods, and they're not. It's just a byproduct of what they've grown up with. So seeing that these are truly great animals, great dogs, great cats, make a great family member, that, and then also hearing from fosters that get their pets adopted, and someone saying, it's their picture that really brought me in and really made me want to adopt that dog.
All right, Allie, thank you for joining us to share a little bit more about this, because it's fascinating that weird noises are a critical part of getting that done. We should start that here at Cincy Lifestyle.
Yes, we can get that necklace for you, Clyde, and it's all of the bird calls. But it was interesting because when I was out there shooting, behind the scenes filming of another photo shoot, she had to kind of keep trying different sounds and different noises, and it actually got to the point where she had put that necklace down because it wasn't quite working, and she was trying different squeaky toys, and this was with Al the dog. And then she was even kind of doing that like panting noise that a puppy might make just to see what the dog reacts to, because you want the dog, or any animal for that matter, the eyes are so important to look into the lens and why it's really important to also know animal behavior, because I loved her line when she says, it's not a scary monster that's, looking deep into your soul. So she has to make the animal feel comfortable.
I guess they really have to make the animals feel safe as well. I love that there were puppies in a glass. I just think that was fantastic. And it would make you really want to adopt a puppy.
I'm telling Mona, I am right there with you. If you follow Louie's Legacy, either whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, they really get fun and creative. So she was talking about the one in the wine glass, and they'll put them in wagons. And then if you saw it on in the video, they did another one with the Office theme. And during football season, they use turf, and they'll have little kittens and puppies just hanging out with a football on some turf. It's so cute.
Allie, the thing I'm curious about is to what degree can they chart the difference between these kinds of photos and the standard here's a dog, here's a cat photos?
That's a good question. I personally don't have that stat, but Carol was saying that there had been a couple studies done in 2017 that did prove the differences between basically an amateur photo with a lot of distraction and not a lot of care taken into it, or really poor lighting, versus a professional photo that just really, captures that character and that personality of the dog, because it's true, or animal or kitten, because every animal has a different personality. And I definitely saw that on the shoot as well. Some of the kittens were really, really shy and just hanging out on the chair, and some of the other ones didn't want to have anything to do with the chair, and it's really just working with them and adapting with them and bringing out that personality with the hopes of long-term getting adopted.
They had some interesting backgrounds too. I loved what looked like a barn door, like a white kind of a barn door or antique door behind one of the puppies. So the background's important as well.
That was actually Carol's home. She has a beautiful backyard because they've been shooting outside, just not wanting to be inside due to the pandemic and studio space, but a lot of green space, and all of that is really, really important as well, and good lighting and just finding different contrasts. So, and if you're looking to be a volunteer, because she's a volunteer photographer, I highly recommend checking them out online at Louie's Legacy, and they would be able to give you some more information, and they need some help in Northern Kentucky and on the west side.
All right, good stuff. Thanks, Allie. Appreciate it. Well, coming up here on Cincy Lifestyle, it's one of Cincinnati's most prominent buildings, but it often gets overshadowed by its neighbor, Music Hall. We'll find out why the other hall on Elm Street, Memorial Hall, is a Cincinnati curiosity you want to know about. And then we talk summer eyewear with a celebrity stylist. From trends to frame size to budget-friendly alternatives will make sure you are looking good this summer. All that and more in just a few minutes.
The summer season is almost here, and we are all adapting to the new normal. While masks may be part of that for now, you can still find ways to stay safe and express your individual, and we mean individual style. You'll see why. Here now to help us is celebrity and TV stylist Lindsay Albanese. Lindsay, thank you so much for talking to us. So let's dive right in and find out why eyeglasses are such an important part of making a fashion statement for your A-list clients.
Yeah, eyewear is the easiest way to switch up your look. When I style clients, it's definitely the finishing touch when they walk out the door, or, when you're indoors now, because we are inside a lot more. We're not going as many places. So eyewear is just an easy way to switch up and freshen up your look without having to buy a full outfit.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about what the trends are for spring and summer.
Yeah, so what's exciting is Zenni, which is the leading online retailer for eyewear, partnered with renowned designer Cynthia Rowley, famous global fashion and lifestyle brand, and they designed an exclusive collection, which you're seeing right here, of 12 different frames, and they range from everything that you could possibly want: cat eye, square, rectangle, fashion tints, if you like pink frames, if you like, this amber color. There's really something for everyone, and everything you see here starts at $35, and that includes your prescription. So it's a pretty incredible price point.
Looking at those frames, some of them really make a statement. So of those that make statements, what are the best ones?
To be honest, what's nice is the variety here. There is really something for everyone. I feel like what I have, this style is very modern, but it's not as oversized and fabulous as this one. And what's nice is, let's say you like this frame, but you want clear lenses, you can do that. Everything you see here is customizable, whether you want clear frames or clear lenses or fashion tints, or you want sunglasses. And that's a really nice option to be able to customize it to your personal style.
Lindsay, I also understand that some of these glasses are safer for your eyes. What makes that the case?
Yeah, so now more than ever, we are logging on some crazy digital time on our phones and on our computers, just because we're not traveling as much as we were. So Zenni has blocks technology, and basically what that is it filters out harmful blue light and UV light, which a lot of times can result in dry eye, they call it fry eye, or sleeplessness. So it's nice to be able to add the blocks lenses to anything you see here for $17, which is truly about 3 to 4 times less than you would pay for blue light blocking glasses anywhere else.
Okay, so how do you make sure that these glasses are going to look good on you once you get them?
What is nice is that Zenni has virtual 3D try-on, and it's really simple. I just did it yesterday. It scans your face, and then it stores the photo of your face in the website, and then you can try on different lenses, so you really get a perspective of looking at yourself. I know that sounds weird, but it really helps you decide on what you think looks best on your face.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, so folks who are interested in this, looking for more information, where do they go to get it?
You can find the whole collection at zenni.com.
Okay. Lindsay, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Well, there are so many historic buildings in our area, but one that often gets overlooked and overshadowed is Memorial Hall. We talked to a couple of people working to preserve this living piece of history. Take a look.
Memorial Hall was built as part of a movement across the country by a group called the GAR, the Grand Army of the Republic. This is a group of Civil War veterans, and they had a lot of lobbying power at this time, and they were looking for spaces to meet and have their annual functions and do celebrations, lectures, funerals, those sorts of things. So Memorial Hall here was actually built with public funds, $250,000 at the time, which would not get much done today. But it's built right next door to a beautiful music hall, and is part of what is now a remarkable arts corridor here in Cincinnati. So Music Hall, Memorial Hall, the new Shakespeare Company, the SCPA, beautiful Washington Park. It's one of the gems of Over the Rhine, to be sure.
When Memorial Hall was built, the 9th Infantry was, honored because of what they had done, and they were a German infantry called the Die Nooners. And again, it was just sort of a cool thing to sort of see how the building was built around, symbolism and kind of a thank you to those people and the people that were using it. Because in 1908, these veterans were later in their lives, and they were at a point when, they likely they were retired or at the end of their working years, and they were looking for things to do, and Memorial Hall was the place that they would go and do that. In the bottoms of all of the seats, there was a wire rack that was, when these veterans would put their top hats under their seats so they wouldn't get crushed or wouldn't, so again, little details in that building that are just, they're just don't exist many places.
So I was told that at one point there were more than a dozen Grand Army of the Republic posts here in the over the Rhine neighborhood. So you can think of these as old-time like VFW posts, right? So these spots would, folks would go there to drink and tell stories and to socialize, and ended up collecting a lot of stuff from the Army, so swords and guns and cannons and artworks. And as the Civil War veterans died in the early part of the 20th century, these places closed. And where did a lot of this stuff go but memorial halls? But we have about 40 pieces of art and artifacts related to local military history, including some very unique pieces, one of which relates to Abraham Lincoln, which Lee may want to speak about.
Yeah, so there was a wreath in a frame that had been identified as a wreath that was on Abraham Lincoln's funeral train. So that was the rumor that was told for years and years and years. So I got up on a ladder and started looking carefully at the wreath. And in the wreath, above at the top part, there's an embroidery that says encampment number 4. But encampments were conventions that occurred by the GAR after the Civil War. I believe encampment number 4 was actually in Grand Rapids, Michigan in 1889. And during these encampments, they would have parades with floats. So my belief is that this was the wreath that was on the Cincinnati's float for that encampment number 4. So certainly a beautiful artifact, but not truly a memorial that was on Lincoln's train.
I was in a meeting during the renovation with the architect and the contractors, and somebody asked, how much would it cost to build Memorial Hall new today? And the architect answered, well, it couldn't be done because the trades by and large don't exist anymore. If there are stonemasons that are capable of that intricate work, the cost would just be astronomical. So we really see these vestiges of a bygone era of artisanship.
Thanks for watching our video. And if you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button. You can also check out full episodes of the show you've never seen before, or watch your favorites again and again. And as always, we love to say it, make it a great day.